Hi, it's Susan here, and here are the paints that I'm using for this particular one and a couple alternates. Hello everyone, it's Susan here, and I'm going to be doing a very simple design that you can modify yourself in all kinds of ways, but I'm going to be doing it on, this is a Happy Dotting Company Molded Stone. This is I think it's about 3.7 inches across, so it's not a huge rock. It's not too small. It's kind of like just right. One of my favorite sizes to work on. But what I'm going to show you today is something that you can do on a stone or a disc like these. And it's one pattern that you can turn into anything you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint all these white dots, and then I'm going to show you the simplest way to learn how to do a spiral from this with the white background of the dots. So this is what we're going to do, and you can make it any way you like, and you can just change the whole feel. I really like this one, and this is the one we're going to do today. So I'm going to be using the holographic background, but you can do yours on any color like I just showed you here. And we're going to do black with more holographic. So let's get going here. So I've prepped my stone. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I like to use Liquitex. This is a black gesso. And what this does, it says right on the bottle here, so it primes the surface, it adds tooth, and it's matte, which just itself being matte will give a bit of grip for your paint. One coat, this is just one coat, will cover your stone, so, or surface, canvas, stone, or whatnot. So, you know, although the product might be a little bit more expensive to buy initially, it does last a very long time. So yeah, I think it's well worth it. So I'm going to coat with Holographic Sparkle by Naturalis. And I'm really not 100% sure on how they pronounce it. Is it Naturalis or Naturalis? I don't know. But either way, this is a product that's made in the USA. I live in Canada, so it is a little more pricey to have this product just through the exchange and shipping. And I know not all countries have this available, so you can use pretty much any kind of sparkle for a background. You know, I think I've shown this before. Folkart Extreme Glitter. This will give a bit of different hue to it, but it's very sparkly. And you can use, you know, you could do a very thin layer of glue type material, like tack it, and just put on loose sparkles. So it doesn't have to be this product, is basically what I'm showing you. But I am going to use this one. So it's probably not too exciting when it's not, when it doesn't have resin on it, but, well, it actually is. It is beautiful with or without resin on it. So I'm just going to spread this one. I use quite a soft brush that has a wide base, so I can spread these types of things really easily. I do find this product does get tacky very quickly or dry. So I'm trying to eliminate my little brush strokes. I'm being very light-handed here. So I think that does it. And I don't know, you won't be able to see it too well here, but maybe you get a little glimpse of all the holographic nature to it. Okay, we'll let that dry and then we'll start. Here's what it looks like. So sparkly. For some reason it shows up more when it's out of focus. For this mandala, I'm using the DIY Mandala stone dotting tools, and the link is down below in the video description. And you can also find all the paint colors that I use for all my videos, as well as other links to other products that I show. As I'm in Canada, my links are usually for Canada, but you get the name of the product that you can do your own search there. I'm going to be showing you all the tool sizes and color for this video. At the end, I will show you a couple other ones that I did with other variation of colors. The whole point of this particular video is you will be able to pick your own colors after you lay down the white. So you can make these seasonal, like for Christmas or whatever holidays that you celebrate, or spring, fall, winter. Blues would be sort of wintry. Anyway, you get the idea. I will be showing you in the second layer how I lay out the swirl pattern. And now I am offsetting each row here, and the whole design is offset, meaning the next layer of dots goes in between the first layer of dots. So they're kind of staggered. And the tool sizes, if you don't use the DIY Mandala stone dotting tools, I do have links to conversion charts. If you use like Happy Dotting Company tools, it'll show you the millimeter size or conversion anyway. Now, we all dot a little bit differently, so I am showing you the size that I'm using. But you gauge it. You don't want it to be too big or too small. Just sort of lay it down there and you'll see. And also I'm using the white golden fluid. It is a little bit more liquidy than some paints. And I did find when I got to the outer layer, it was a little bit too runny, so it started to pool at the bottom as we started to get to the curve of the rock. So just be cautious of that. And you'll see me in this video removing a dot, I think twice, where it just kind of either was an oval shape or it started to pool. So just watch for that. So I've opted not to put any music in the background of this particular video. It's not going to be a very long and drawn out video like some of the bigger ones, so it's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to all my new subscribers to my channel. It always means a lot to me that you watch. And, whether you do thumbs up, that's great. It tells me you're enjoying what I'm doing. If you're not enjoying my videos, I might just suggest you move along. Doing thumbs down without any comments as to why doesn't really help me improve things for you guys. So, move along to someone who you do enjoy. I do these out of the kindness of my heart. To help you. It doesn't benefit me in any kind of way, so I'm just sharing my knowledge. So this is one of the dots that I didn't like. It kind of just pulled at the bottom there, so have fun watching me clean this off. The joy about this particular paint that I used underneath is it leaves it's almost like it's already resined. It's so smooth. So these dots came off really, really easy. And there we go. It's gone as if it wasn't even there. So I've also had some people reach out to me and ask me how my little kitty and puppy are doing. I think it's so sweet that you guys are taking the time to, ask me. And so, yeah, my little Gracie, she's doing well. She, for those that don't know, she broke her leg a month ago, and so it's been a stressful time for me. So tomorrow's Thursday, so she gets her follow-up X-ray to see how things are healing. So we'll just cross our fingers and do a little prayer that it's healing well, and we can let her out of containment soon, because she's getting kind of bored in her little pen. So yay, she's doing well though, and puppy's growing. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks again for all your lovely comments and positive vibes. So you can see with these dots already, if you look at the outer edge, that white paint is starting to pool just a little bit. One thing that you can do to help that is just take your stylus and kind of just push the paint up to the top. Yeah, I think this is the one that I have to take off. So yeah, you can kind of just sort of push the paint back up to the top of the dot until it starts to dry a little bit. Do it very lightly, like you don't want to remove the paint. You just kind of want to guide it upwards a little bit. Or the other thing that you can do is do one dot and kind of hold it in a direction so that it doesn't drip to the bottom, and just let it dry for a minute or two. I don't suggest using a blow dryer because it might spread the paint beyond the boundary of the dot. So, or you can just add a little bit of thickener to your paint too. A few options there. Or use a thicker paint. Okay, so I'm just doing a single dot with the bigger stylus here. I think it's a 2.5 millimeter. I can refer to this on occasion as a cherry dot. And then I take the next size down in millimeters to do my tapers. So in this case, it'll be the 2 millimeter. And I'll just taper around each side. So this is a little bit of embellishment. I'm putting dots, 2 dots the same size here in silver. So it's a little lighter than the nickel color. So the silver, so 2 dots the same size and then a little one beneath it. And then after that, I'll be filling in the spaces as we go into the middle of the mandala, and you'll see I do start off with doing 2 dots because the space is bigger, and then as the space gets tighter, as we get closer to the middle, I switch over to one where you can pretty much you don't have to re-dip your tool, which is kind of nice. And so this process goes pretty quickly. When this is all done, you will want to let those white dots dry really well. If you're in a bit of a hurry to get this done in one sitting, you might want to just take a light hair dryer to it with a low setting, like not really blasting it, or let it sit for an hour, depending. Excuse me, losing my voice today. So if you can let it sit for an hour or so, that would be good. And the same goes for when we do the second layer. You want to let it dry really well. Anytime you're layering dots, it's best to make sure that you can touch the layer underneath before doing any dots. Otherwise you get funny shapes. Okay, this is almost done, so now you really want to let it dry before going on to the next step. When you are doing the size of top dot, as I am in this demonstration, I only want a very small ring of white to show, enough for you to see it and know that it's there, but this black dot is, I don't know, maybe it's about 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters, I think. So when you're picking your tool size, you want to place it over and remember that the paint's going to squish out about a millimeter or 2. So picking the tool size, keeping that in mind. This particular paint that I'm using is a little bit stringy, so you'll see me kind of swirl it upwards until that little string releases. It's the best way to deal with that. This and the color shift or color flash paints by Folkart. Don't pull your tool off to the side, otherwise you're going to get a little string. Now, to get the swirl effect, I've started on the outer edge and moving inward. And I did that mainly just so that you can see it easier how the pattern is created. after you've done one or two, you probably will be more inclined to start from the middle and work outward. You'll be able to see how the pattern's created after doing one or two. But it's basically picking the dot to the left or to the right of your initial dot above it. And you just keep doing that with each row. It's fairly simple once you see how that pattern is created. And you just keep on going. You can do all kinds of swirls. It doesn't have to be an 8-point. In fact, the more points your mandala has, like a 16, or you can get all kinds of designs and colors in there. Like my previous video to this one, I did gradients, so you can have fun with it. Or you can even change direction of your swirl midway. But your pattern have to be a little bit bigger to do that. Anyway, the whole point is just to have fun. Okay, we're going to do the next color, and this is nickel, which is it's like a darker silver. And I did it video this way just so that you could see the pattern so much easier, just for teaching purposes. Like you can really see those swirls. But normally I would keep the same tool size, do all the dots with that tool, and then move on to the next row. So yeah, I think you get what I'm trying to say, I hope. You'll see I'm going to take my stylus here and even out the paint so that when it dries it's flat. And I'm doing that because I'm going to be putting a third layer dot on top of it, and so we want it nice and smooth. Okay, this is the last dot for this layer. I really suggest letting this dry overnight if you can, or a good couple hours before moving on to the next dots. So take a little break and we'll see you back here in a minute. This particular product that I'm using by Naturalis, excuse me, this holographic paint is very fluidy. So just like the white dots, you just want to keep an eye on it so that it's not starting to pool in one direction. So I usually will, take my little stylus again and brush it up a bit, or I'll even hold my stone and rotate it around while those dots are drying before even moving on to the next row, just until I get to the point in the mandala stone where it's a little flatter. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. final dot, and now she's done. And I'm going to show you here a little closer so you can see the holographic look. So beautiful. I wish you could really see this in person, what it looks like. But I guess you will when you make your own. And here's the other ones that I've made. I'm going to be hiding these ones in my community as kindness rocks. I like to give back that way and brighten somebody's day, so I thought these would be perfect because they're very easy for me to do and not time consuming, and it'll really make somebody's day. The group I belong to is called Souk to Sydney Rock Hunt here in Victoria on Facebook, and when people find them, they post them there. So you never know, when you're walking out, you might find one yourself. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a really great day.